My dear viewers, beginning today is the official Alliteration Gaming Patreon and channel members. Throughout my Patreon, we've got quite a few tiers you can check out in order to gain special perks and even commission videos that you'd like to see me upload onto the channel. Every tier includes a shout out on my supporter card at the beginning of all of my videos, along with the benefits of the tier itself. Following that, you can now also join the Alliteration Nation by becoming a channel member on the YouTube side of things. Pledging your subscription here as a member of the channel is going to grant you the same shout out on my supporter card as all the Patreon tiers do, as well as access to the members only channel on my Discord. You'll gain a member badge that will level up as you stay subscribed and access to my exclusive emotes when I stream on YouTube. If you're interested in checking out the Patreon, I'm going to have the link in the description and in the pinned comment down below, as well as the link to my Discord should you want to join that as well. And if you want to become a channel member, the big beautiful join button is front and center on my homepage right here. And if you do decide to support the channel in any way whatsoever, know that I am unimaginably grateful, and I can't wait to provide you with even more top-notch content at my trademark top speed. Additionally, it's time for the return of the referral code. If you're new here and you're just getting into the game, you've got to make an account on the Universus Gaming Network. When you're signing up, you can use my exclusive referral code Alliteration to let Jasco know that I brought you on board, which directly supports me and my work. Having an account on the UGN site is going to allow you to sign up for tournaments, participate in events, locate stores that support the game near you, and much, much more. Playing in events and or mailing in pack wrappers is actually going to accrue loyalty points onto your account, which you'll then be able to redeem for exclusive promo cards in the mail for absolutely free. An account on here is an integral part of playing this game, so make sure you sign up and you use my code Alliteration to help me continue doing what I love. I would really appreciate the support. You guys absolutely killed it on the last one with all of the signups, and I am really excited to run it back with you all. Now, let's get on to the video. Good evening, my dear viewers. Welcome to another Alliteration Gaming video. My name is Levi, and it's Wednesday, so it's time for our Wealthy Aspirations. This is our weekly Market Watch series where we go across TCG Player and just kind of analyze and deep dive into a handful of select cards that I've picked on our secondary market that I think are worth keeping an eye out for. We do this series every single Wednesday. It's Wealthy Wednesday, so if you don't want to miss out on any of the market action, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of the content. With that being said, it's been a pretty quiet week in the market for everything else, so this week is actually going to be entirely set 4 focus. Now, set 4 has not even been out an entire week at this point. Technically, cards have been in hands a little bit longer if you count the pre-release, but pre-release prices are some of the most volatile that have ever existed whatsoever, so I really don't count those very much, and that's why we haven't actually covered them yet until this week just right now. So since the set hasn't been out very long, everything is still a little crazy, but I do think that there are some things that have certainly settled where they will settle. I think there are some things that are good buys right now, and in general, we're just going to go over a lot of things that I think are good to keep an eye on because I think they're going to be the most money cards of the set. So first things first, let's talk about the secret rare. So Hold Hostage and United States of Smash. Both of these bad boys right here opened to selling at like 20-ish when the set first came out. Like day one, you can see in Hold Hostage, they were selling for 15s and 20s. Probably see something very similar in United States of Smash. Yeah, a whole lot of 20s. And as the days have gone by, I think we've seen a very weird increase in them. Honestly, they're starting to sell for the 30s and 40s on something like United States of Smash, and then Hold Hostage has actually been going for like the 50s lately, which is kind of surprising, to be honest. I mean, I think these cards are okay. They're not bad by any means. They're definitely better than the last couple sets of secret rares, but I guess it's more so with how cheap the previous ones have been. The juxtaposition of this seems very jarring. I think a big thing that can also have to do with it is people are opening a lot less product than they did set 3, simply because they were like chrome hunting like crazy. So there's actually just probably a lot less of these on the market. At the same time though, I do think that these are probably a little bit inflated right now. I think within maybe like the next couple weeks or so, these will probably settle more so in like the 30 range for Hold Hostage and like the 20 range for United States of Smash. So if you haven't picked these up yet and you are keen on getting them, but you're not dying to get them, like you don't need them for like, you know, the monthly Monday Mayhem coming up or something like that, I don't think these are direct buys right now. I do think there's a lot of room for them to settle, but if you do need them right now, these are not the most unreal prices in the world. And as far as the XRs go, they're still pretty crazy. There's pretty much like not really any sales history on them. They're going for around like the 70 to 80 range on both of them. Again, there's like day one sales history for like some super duper cheap prices. I'm not sure how credible that is, but these will probably settle anywhere around like 40 to 50 maybe. It's really just hard to say because like These are also pretty good collector's items. The art on these is like kind of insane, so we'll just kind of have to see how those go, but I really wouldn't recommend dipping my toes into them quite just yet. Now let's move on to the promos associated with the set. Obviously, Plus Ultra promos are not out yet, so we only have Quark Pack promos to talk about. Let's talk about Valiant Assault, guys. Valiant Assault is one of our lovely standard cards brought into the format of MHA with this set, and when they announced that you could use your old versions of cards that were exactly the same, mechanically the same effects and the same name, they announced you could use the older versions of those. All of the old versions of Valiant Assaults got bought out almost instantly. They pretty much do not exist anymore. I can't find them on TCG Player. They're basically just not around anymore, so you do actually have to use the MHA ones right here, unless you can get your hands on those old ones. So there is a reason for this price to be real, because this card's like super duper busted. They've been selling pretty consistently in like the $20 range in the last few days. They opened up to more so around like $5 and $10. Very quickly people realized, yo, hang on, people are willing to pay a lot more for this card. Hey, like someone bought 4 for $30 right there. So I don't necessarily think this is the next chivalrous competitor or anything, because like it's only for punch decks. I don't think $20 is a crazy price to pay right now. If you want this really competitive card right now, this is an okay price. If you're fine waiting for it, I think it's going to settle more around 12 to 15, maybe even as low as 10 in the coming weeks. But for now, you're going to pay a premium if you want Valiant Assaults, because this card is just very good, guys. Now let's talk about the ultra rares. The main two I really want to dig into are Vile Season and Dual Needle Lunge. Vile Season is obviously like the chase card of the set. I think $20 for this card is super duper reasonable. It's been settling more around like the $18 range. $2? What the hell is that? It's been selling more around the $18 range, which I think is also still super correct. I think it go back up to 20. I think it could even reach 25 if enough people start snapping them up. Like there's really not that many listed, right? Like 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If I wanted to spend money on 13 Valiant Assaults, I could buy up the whole of TCG Player right now. So this one, I think if you're trying to hold off, if you don't need this card right now, it's fine, but I really don't expect to be paying anything less than like 15 anytime soon for this guy. Dual Needle Lunge, I think will probably fall around $10. This is, I think, the second best UR of the set as far as like how often it's going to get used, how much is going to get bought, and how much is going to hold value. I think $10 is a very correct area for this card. Again, still not a ton of these in stock. I think paying 10 for this card is fine. I don't think it'll get much lower, maybe around like $8 or so. Then a couple others I want to talk about is Dignified Display. Needle and Needle Stab. I think Dignified Display and Needle Stab are also ones that could potentially find $10. This card's kind of just generically very good, and Needle Stab has Toga's face on it and is also kind of generically solid. They've been selling a lot at the $8 range. I think that's a really good price for them personally. So if you're looking to pick up these, I don't think there's much of a price decrease to be waiting for. These are really solid, and I could even see them going a little bit up as things start to settle. Now, as far as XRs go, XRs are really crazy right now. Obviously, there's going to be some really standout ones. Stuff like Cremation, like, you know, this fan favorite signature card for a signature character is going to hover around $12. I think this is a really good price. I think these are going to settle for anywhere in the 15 to 20 range. I think paying 12 for Cremations is a very good price. And then obviously anything with Toga's face on it is going to be super volatile. Blood transfers are in a pretty like non-existent state right now. I expect it to be more around like the 10 to 12 as far as the market sales go. You know, Gory Stab, Rushing Stab, all of these you'd be paying anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks for, and I think that's super fine, just because it's a waifu XR, and the XRs do look really good here. The other XRs I want to talk about are characters. So I think the characters are all probably going to hover in the 15 to 20 range for quite a while, especially the really good ones, especially the really good fan favorite ones. Shigaraki, $17, that's super reasonable. Twice, you need 4 of these. You need 4 of these if you want to be a full true Twice gamer. $17, super reasonable. Dabi hovering around the 25 range, Toga in the $20 range. And this also just makes a lot of sense. These guys are probably going to be a little bit more expensive just because they're either like there's some combination of really good character and also really popular character. Dabi hits both of those. Toga is more on the popularity side, but also still a pretty solid character. So I would expect to be paying at least 20 on both of these guys. I could even see 20 on these other guys right here. Guys like Muscular and Spinner are hovering more so around the $10 range. These guys I could see tanking just because they're a lot less popular. I could see myself paying $3 or $4 for these guys in like a couple weeks. But at the same time, if you're really hot on the character, like $10 for any XR character, I think is just like super duper fine. I think it's weird that characters get cheaper than that, but that's just me. And of course, we have the starter deck characters as well, which are actually pretty expensive. I don't think the foils look very different. I don't know how like super desired these are. I think this is more so just like, yeah, there's like no sales history on these really. I think this is more so just like starter deck XRs always get put as super duper expensive. And as far as like other XRs go, any other XR that I haven't talked about right here that's above $15 is probably a bit of a sham. It's probably not going to end up that expensive. Anything under $5 that you feel is like a playable card, I think is super duper fine to pick up. There's a lot of really nice little common attacks in this set that are under $5 right now. Some really cool key foundations, things like Sense of Justice is a really good pickup. Enamored is a really good pickup. Like there's things here and there that if you can find them for like $5 or under are super fine. But for the most part, it's really hard to comment on the XR market right now because things are still just going to be super duper volatile with the set still coming out. This is kind of just like the base level of understanding of prices that I can give you, and like what I just in a rough idea of what I wouldn't and would be paying more of, right? Like if you look at a lot of the XR URs, those are really crazy right now. You know, XR muscular ultra rare, not going to be $20 in like a week or so. All right, stuff like that is just, you know, you can look at this and see, yeah, if I just look at the other sets and kind of how they go, these cards are not going to be that expensive in like a week or two once the set really settles. So if you're looking for that higher rarity stuff, I don't really think there are any like steals right now. I think if you're really hot on Dobby 2 and you want to pay $50 for 4 cremations, I think that's like correct. If you're really hot on a lot of these characters, pick up the XRs. I don't think there's much reason not to right now. Just, you know, these are just going to be harder to find right as time goes on. And in general, you should probably just keep a very open eye when it comes to the market for this set because a lot less is being opened. I cannot stress that enough. The ultra rares for this set, I don't think they're anything super duper crazy, but they're not going to look like set 3 quite as much. There are still going to be some chase ones. I think Vial and Duel are going to hold $10 upwards for quite a while. I could see Duel being like $15, Dignified and Needle Stab, and a couple others too even, you know, so like Dobby's ultra rare is not very bad. I could see those being like around the $10 range, and even then, I think the stinkers will still hover around $5. I don't think we're going to see these like 50-cent URs, except for maybe something like, I don't know, Justice Rush. And that honestly just kind of puts a wrap on this week's Market Watch, guys. There really was not a ton to talk about. There's really nothing crazy going on with the previous 3 sets right now. There's not much to talk about there. Set 4 is the only thing to talk about, and it's really hard to talk too much about set 4 without feeling like I'm just spreading like FOMO and misinformation and stuff like that. I can kind of just give you rough ideas of what you should be paying for cards right now. So just be careful out there. Make sure you do not get ripped off. Also, make sure you're not ripping your buddies off in sales or trades or anything like that. Again, things are still super duper volatile and really could go a lot of ways. Even though the set's been out for about half a week now, I still don't think things have settled quite that much. I do still think that there's room for a lot of fluctuations, especially when it comes to the secret rares. If there's URs you want and they're under $10, I would just pick them up right now. I don't think that you're going to find much better prices past that. As always though, these are just my silly little opinions, and everything is always very subject to change. The market is a vile, heinous beast that is always super duper hard to predict, whether you're in the stocks or you're in the set 4 league of villains. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this week's Market Watch. Thank you guys so much for watching Wealthy Aspirations every week, as well as any of my other content that you watch as well. I'm just now, as of today, increasing my upload schedule even just a little bit more because I'm just getting so much support from the Patreon, so many cool videos that I've been commissioned to make that it's really hard to get them out all just uploading only 1 day a week. So you're going to see a bit of an increase, a bit of a ramp here. So there's never been a better time to subscribe so you can make sure you catch all of that content. And of course, if you want to be a part of that content too, you can check out said Patreon, linked down in the pinned comments and in the description below, so you can commission your own types of videos and forever cement yourself as a part of the Alliteration Gaming channel, and of course, support it just as hard in the process. But guys, if all you did was just make it to the end of this video, I really appreciate that as well. That's all the time I've got for today, but I hope I can see you in tomorrow's upload.